Welcome back. You're watching Newsnight on eNCA. Now, have you ever been inspired by a culinary creation you spotted on the big screen, or tempted to buy a cookbook that contains recipes from your favorite movie? Well, imagine no more. The Hyatt House in Sandton has curated an experience that will take you right into the movie while watching it. Yes, you can taste the movie, literally. Inez Essop, founder and CEO of Taste the Movies, is here to tell us more. Good evening to you. Thank you very much for joining us here on Newsnight.
Hi, Avi. Thanks so much for having me.
My absolute pleasure. So it's Women's Month, so I thought let's shine the spotlight on some young, fierce women who are going for their dreams and creating these unique experiences. So I thought about you and Taste the Movie. I've never experienced it myself, but I've seen a little bit about it on social media. Just talk to me about how this idea came to mind.
So I studied for Germany in 3 years. I studied law at the University of Hamburg, and I found when I lived in Europe, there was always something crazy and fun to do over the weekends.
Yeah.
I was never bored. And then due to COVID, I came back to South Africa, and I think that aspect of my life was something that I was sorely missing. I craved to go and do something on the weekends. And then I thought, oh, maybe I should go to Europe and experience all of these things. But then that was kind of selfish. And I thought, maybe I should bring this experience to South Africa.
Yeah.
So that my friends, my family, everybody that shares the same interest in me can also enjoy it as well. I love Disney movies. I'm a huge Disney fan.
Same.
And I love food. So I was like, this is something that I would go for. And I definitely want to share it with the rest of South Africa.
Amazing. I love that you just thought about it and you went for it, because so often young people have these amazing ideas, but they're reluctant or scared to pursue it. For whatever reason, it could be a lack of funding or a lack of experience. But as a young woman, what made you think, you know what, I have this idea and I might be a little bit nervous about it, but I've got to go for it? What inspired you?
So I think I was just tired of status quo and being the person that never does anything. That's exactly my point, is I was the person that I had all these crazy ideas, but I never took them. I was never like, okay, today I'm going to do this and I'm going to actually see it through. And I think you just have to throw yourself in the deep end, go and do whatever you can to just get yourself out there. And I think because I did that, it actually became a success and came to fruition.
And it is a huge success. I've seen that it's been sold out every time. So I'm really happy about that. But for someone who's never experienced it, for someone who's never perhaps seen some of your posts on social media, talk to us about what Taste the Movies is actually all about and what you can experience.
A culinary experience where you eat everything you see on screen. The chefs at Hyatt House and we watch iconic food films, and then we make a 6-course menu for each film. And so when you're seeing, for instance, in Ratatouille, the little rat, he makes the soup, Remy, the little rat, you get your own soup in that time. So you see it on screen and you eat it at the same time.
Oh my gosh, but what goes into preparing for a night like this? Because it's 6 courses, there are how many guests in one sitting?
Around.
You need to make sure that the film runs smoothly as well. What goes into planning and preparing and making sure that your guests are getting the experience that they paid for?
So I watched the movie personally, and then I'm like, okay, what is the most outstanding dish that is there? And then I sit down and obviously sourcing all the ingredients, making sure, as you said, that the movie plays correctly or without any blocks or stops.
Yeah.
And then also just that everybody's having a good time, that there's enough seating, that there's space, that we take other people's dietary requirements into consideration. We're also strictly halal, so that's something that we look forward to. We have to make sure that all of those regulations are complied with. It's a lot of work, but I really love doing it.
So what has been the reaction on your first and your opening night, once everyone had had their 6 courses and watched the movie? What was the response? How was it received?
I never got a complaint on the first night, which was really great. We were fully booked, and then from there the ball just started rolling. We got 1,000 followers, which within the next day people started DMing us, and I think the response, the demand for Harry Potter has been insane. So I'm really happy about that, and people have also been giving us some suggestions or something they'd like to do, or asking us if we can do birthday parties and private events, which we can.
Amazing.
So that's something that I look
Beautiful.
forward to.
So if someone is watching and they'd love to attend, when is the next one? How do they go about purchasing tickets? Where does this happen? Give us the details.
So the next one is actually on the 26th of August. It's Ratatouille, and we still have some tickets for that. But if you want to book, you can send us a DM at Taste the Movie SA, or you can also contact Hyatt House directly. We also have a link for Dine Plan, And then we're also coming to Cape Town in November and
Amazing.
December. So all the Cape Townians can book in advance.
Amazing. When did you start this business? You're already expanding to Cape Town. That's amazing.
About 2 or 3 months ago.
Oh my
So the
gosh.
demand, people have been commenting and telling us the whole time, please come to Cape Town, please come to Cape Town. And so I finally made a plan to make that happen.
Amazing. It's so lovely to see a young woman, her business just growing and expanding and reaching so many people. I love to see it. So let's talk about a young woman in business. There's a lot of challenges. I mean, I just spoke to Leonora. We touched on the issue of gender-based violence. That's still something that a lot of young women in the country battle with. But as an entrepreneur, what are some of the challenges that you've experienced as a woman?
So I think first and foremost, the mentality that I can't do this, or I am my own enemy, my biggest enemy, in other words. You think, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. This world is too harsh. I'm going to be out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I can't do it. You know, I don't have the backing financially. But I think what's important to remember is that if you have a vision and you know what you want to achieve in life, no one can stop you. I fortunately also relied a lot on my family, especially my parents, my friends, and I had a mentor who I could speak to. But I think a lot of people don't have that, and you need to really just find, what are you about? What do you bring to the community, to this earth, and how do you want to achieve it? And once you know that and you're firm in that and you're grounded, nothing can stop you.
I love that attitude. So like you said, a lot of young women may perhaps not have the support that you have, you know, a loving family who can help, assist and guide, maybe a mentor. What is your advice then to women who have aspirations of starting a business and becoming an entrepreneur? What is the 3 things maybe that you wish you knew now when you started out?
Education is really important, and it doesn't always have to be expensive. There are courses online that you can do that you can get financial aid for, which will really help you. Another thing is, if you find that you are not getting support from friends or family, either change your circle or become so independent that you believe wholeheartedly in what you're doing. And so whatever anybody else says doesn't even matter. And the third thing is, you have to realize that you are valuable. If you have an idea and you're not bringing it out there, how will we know what we're missing out on?
Exactly.
So you have to be bold, you have to be fierce, get out of your comfort zone. It's not going to be easy, but you have to do it.
And it'll be worth it.
Totally.
Inez, I love chatting to you. It's so important because like I was chatting to the Miss Universe South Africa Brioni earlier, representation matters. So it's important for young women to see that it is possible and that you are capable of amazing things. And I think you are a representation of that. So all of the best. I wish you and your business every success. It's already successful. I wish it even more success. And thank you very much for sharing your story.
Thank you so much for having me.